competitive edge. So sorry, the competitive edge board meeting is ordered. It's now 6 o'clock. Mind, rise for you. Pledge allegiance. Ready?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello, everyone. I would like to welcome everyone to our meeting and start with reporting that our members who were up for re-election and our new members were sworn in at the start of the closed session meeting at 5 o'clock this evening in order to conduct our board's business with establishment. I also like to note that present we have 3 board members, Regina Cruz, Debbie Miller, and myself. Do I have, at this time, I need to get an approval for the agenda? Do I have a motion? So moved. I have a first, do I have a second? I second. Motion by Debbie Miller, board member Debbie Miller, and a second by Regina Cruz. All those in favor? Aye. Chair votes aye. Motion passes. At this time, I would like to welcome our competitive edge Charter Academy band. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Very excited to get to see what you're doing today. I believe you're going to go through the front. All right. Let's cruise around to the other side.
Yeah, we're excited to be here this evening. This is our 2nd year of band, and Mrs. Collins is just gonna short introduction, then we'll get going on the show. Mrs. Collins, take it away.
Bye. Okay. Oh, okay.
Great. Hi, my name's Katrina Collins, and I am privileged to be one of our band teachers here at Competitive Edge. So here we have tonight our advanced band, which is our 7th and 8th graders. Some of them are in their 2nd year of band. Raise your hand if it's your 2nd year of band. And then quite a few of them, this is their 1st year. Raise your hand if this is your 1st year of band. Right, so we've worked really hard. Those 1st year students have caught right up with our 2nd year students. We were here last Christmas, I think, playing Jingle Bells, if I remember correctly, Jingle Along. And this year we've made a lot of advancements. So beyond just being able to play the first 5 or 7 notes, we've moved on to be able to play chromatics notes, which like on a piano are the black keys, if you will. And so we have kind of a special song for you to hopefully put you in the holiday spirit, but it's a little unique, maybe a little different than what you hear around at the grocery store. So this is going to have many familiar tunes, but we're going to play them in a minor key. So with those chromatic notes, yeah, just sort of unique. Santa the Barbarian, and to feature in the song, we have Mr. Mead speaking the part of Santa.
Don't get your hopes up. Wind blew and made long ago, and the Yuletide season brought the darkness. The gift giver and told Santa's Aquarian, from the far icy waste he comes, Santa the Barbarian. Thank you, guys.
I know, I wanted to. I do too.
All right, that was absolutely wonderful. Thank you, guys.
I'm so tired.
I have a tendency to move this one and defer this into the next thing. Do I have a motion to defer the election of officers? Into the UCAB Unified School District regular board meeting. Can I get a second? I second. All right, I have a motion by Debbie Miller to move the election of officers to the regular UCAB Calamasa Unified School District board meeting with the second by Regina Cruz. All in favor? Aye. Chair votes aye, and it's passed. And then moving on with item 4.02, can I get approval of a motion to approve the minutes for 2025 regular board meeting dates? I approve. Can I get a second? All right, so with a motion from board member Regina Cruz and a second from board member Debbie Miller. All those in favor? Aye. Chair votes aye. Motion carries with a 3-0 vote. And then we are moving on to our advisory committee reports. Mr. Mealy.
So filling in from Mrs. Reichman this evening, she sends her apologies for not being able to be here, but at this month's meeting, we started off open enrollment. It's going to start when we return from winter break. So we went over those procedures again, went over the documents that are posted for our families online, and the timeline that goes along with it, and open it up for any kind of questions. We followed that, talking about our mission statement. We went to review our mission statement, especially as we have a reevaluation for National Baccalaureate coming next year. And I thought that would be a quick conversation. I thought we really had a strong mission statement, but it turned into about an hour and a half conversation, and how big of a change with all of our learning over the last 5 years. And so it was a great conversation, but that took up more than our allotted meeting time.
Okay, thank you for that. Do we have any, so moving on to item number 6.01, the approval of the consent calendar. Does anyone need to pull any of the items listed here? Okay, hearing none, can I get a motion to approve the consent calendar? So moved. Second? Second. Motion by board member Debbie Miller, second by board member Regina Cruz. All in favor? Aye. Chair votes aye. Motion passes with a 3-0 vote. And number 7.01, do you have any additional administrative comments?
The families have kind of left, but I want to thank you for bringing their children. It's been a really busy holiday season for our band, and a lot of them were here for the Halloween Christmas parade, and just put in a lot of time. And so I really appreciate it. And just a huge shout out to Mrs. Collins and Mr. Bopta, our band teachers. Just the growth over the last year with not only the number of kids in band, we're at almost 50 kids right now, but just their skill level over the last year is just amazing. And so they put a lot of hard work into it and really represent our school well. So I want to give them a shout out.
I have no comments.
We had such fun watching your band grow, and it's amazing. And you've been having all kinds of plays and performances during this whole time. And we're so excited. We want you to rest up with your family. And we hope that your team gets a chance to restore, while all the parents get a chance to have some time with their families. And then just in from Santa's sleigh is I don't know, I don't know if you know this or not yet, but do you know that you're on the statewide honorable selection for the educational results for your partnership? No. Well, I think Mr.
Wow.
Bradley can probably elaborate a little bit for you, but he found that out today. So along with Inland Leaders, correct?
I did, yes. There were 3 schools in Beaumont and then 2 here in Ucaipa, Inland Leaders and Competitive Edge. You were selected on the star level. I'll send you more information. I'll put out a press release.
Hearing no more administrative comments, board member comments, Ms. Miller.
That was an amazing performance. Last year was great, but they definitely have grown, and that song, I loved it. It was wonderful. I just love it. That's the best part of the meetings. And I'm just wishing everybody a wonderful holiday, break, 2 weeks. And, that everybody is, like she said, rested. And, good last week, probably filled with parties and finals and cool stuff too.
Board member Cruz.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that great event. Music is always a nice way to start everything. So I was saying jokingly, let's have that meeting all the time with music to start out. And so we can have a positive spin on all of these wonderful agenda. So thank you so much. Nice meeting you again.
Congratulations on your award. I don't remember what it's called, but I know it's fantastic. So congratulations. And I was loving the music in the minor key. That was pretty amazing. So kind of
Kind of like Jack Skellington.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
That was good stuff. So on that, I'd like to, we are adjourned. Yes. Yes, it is. I mean, you want to escape, you can't. Duly noted, duly noted.
Josh, you doing okay?
I gotta go.
All right. I'm just kidding.
See you, man. Have a good night.
Oh, I apologize. At this time, we are going to call to order the December 17th, 2024 Ucaipa County Joint Unified School District Board of Education meeting at 6:30. Can you please stand for the pledge? Ready to begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would like to note that all board members are present with, with the exception of board member Sharon Bannister. Are there any, I need approval of the agenda. Are there any additions or changes to the agenda?
Yes, thank you. I do have the recommendation to pull items 10.05, 10.06, and 10.08.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented with the changes? Can I get a second?
I second that.
Motion by board member Miller, seconded by board member Cruz. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Chair votes aye. Passes with 3-0 vote. We have nothing to report out from the closed session. So that takes us to our highlights of the evening. We are so incredibly lucky to have with us tonight the Ucaipa High School Madrigal Singers here to perform for us under the leadership of Mr.
This holiday, rejoice and sing, Noel, Noel, for soon it will be Christmas Day. Rejoice and sing, Noel, rejoice and sing, this holiday. Rejoice and sing, Noel, rejoice, for soon it will be Christmas Day. Rejoice, 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 sing. Rejoice, sing, rejoice, sing, rejoice, this holiday. Sing, rejoice, sing, rejoice, soon it will be Christmas Day. Rejoice and sing, Noel, Noel, rejoice and sing, this holiday. Rejoice and sing, Noel, Noel, soon it will be Christmas Day.
Thank you very much. This group is an audition group at Yucaipa High School called the Madrigal Singers. And they represent about a third of the members of the choir at Yucaipa High School. And also they're kind of representing our bands and our guitar classes and our general music classes. So we've got about 300 students that are studying music at Yucaipa High School right now. And more on the way because the middle school choir and bands are just bursting at the seams. So it's really exciting. We have one more song that we'd like to do for you tonight. And then I have to get them to another performance tonight. They're on their way to perform for the Kiwanis Club tonight. So we're really grateful for the opportunity to perform for you and an opportunity to say thanks for your support. School board, and there's some of their teachers are in the room too. Thank you for your support. For all that they are pursuing. We have some really high achieving students here who have, a finger in a lot of different pies. So we have athletes and academics and activities, lots of different things that they're involved in. And so we have teachers that do a lot to accommodate all those things. This last song we're going to do is Blue Christmas by Elvis, and we brought our own Elvis with us.
I think we would all be remiss if we didn't thank our choir director, Mr. Kirk Young.
For everyone's history lesson, we didn't always have a music and choir director. We had Mr. Pressler doing 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs. And so with Mr. Young, who we were in, I'm just gonna tell him, we were in competition between Redlands and us, and he picked us. And aren't we lucky? Does an amazing job, and he has been up with the students, it says like 6:45, 6 o'clock this morning. They were asked, I asked them. Thank you, I did. They were at Rotary this morning. So Rotary at sun up, board meeting, and sundown with Kiwanis, serving our community. Thank you so much again, and setting such a great role. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Now moving on to public comment, we do have 2 individuals who would like to come up and speak today. The first person would be Miss Dawn Madrid.
Good evening, Superintendent Beans, members of the board and cabinet. Thank you for the opportunity to just pop in again. It is a privilege to stand before you today to reflect on one of the most profound and selfless gifts in our lives, the gift of giving and education. A gift embodied most beautifully by our teachers and educators here in Yucatan Mesa. As we reflect on this season of giving, it's important to acknowledge the incredible gifts that our educators give to our students, not just during the holidays, but every day of the year. When we think of the word gift, we often envision something tangible, something we can wrap, unwrap, and hold in our hand. But the gift of giving an education is something far deeper, something that cannot be contained in a box or quantified by price tags. The greatest gift an educator offers is their time, their energy, their compassion, and their unwavering dedication to nurturing the minds and hearts of the next generation. Our amazing educators give not just their time, but also their energy, patience, and dedication. They show up every day, often sacrificing their own needs to ensure that each student is given the tools to thrive. And they do so not because they're asked to, but because they believe in something greater than themselves. They believe in the power of education to change lives. This season, let's celebrate the selflessness of our educators who go above and beyond day after day to create a positive, inspiring learning environment. Whether it's staying after school to provide extra help, offering a kind word to a struggling student, or simply being a steady presence in their lives, these acts of generosity shape the future of our children and in turn, the future of our community. It is easy to forget that educating is more than just delivering information. Educators are mentors, role models, teachers, counselors, and guides. They are the ones who notice when a student is struggling and provide the support that helps them rise. They are the ones who celebrate each victory, no matter how small, because they understand that learning is a journey, not a destination. They are the ones who, through their words and actions, plant seeds of possibility in minds that may not yet understand their own potential. The true gift of giving and education goes far beyond the classroom walls. The lessons we learn extend into our futures. They shape the way we approach our challenges, the way we interact with others, and the way we view the world. It is often said that teachers inspire us to dream big. They also help us take those dreams and turn them into achievable goals. They empower us to see obstacles as opportunities and rise above adversity with resilience and hope. As we reflect on this gift, let us also acknowledge the sacrifices that come with it. Educators often work long hours, planning lessons, grading papers, preparing reports and data, and finding new ways to connect with students. Their contributions often go unrecognized and are underappreciated, yet they continue day after day because their commitment to the growth of the others is unwavering. Their reward comes not in material wealth, but in the success of the students they have touched and the knowledge that they have made a difference in someone's life. But this season, let us pause to acknowledge and celebrate those gifts. Let us honor and demonstrate to our educators, staff, and all members of the Calumet School District that they are valued and that their contributions are a gift to us all. Together, we can create a community where every individual feels seen, supported, and empowered to reach their fullest potential. In doing so, we continue to build a future where the spirit of giving is not just a seasonal practice, but a year-round commitment to each other's successes. Thank you again for the opportunity to share and highlight the amazing gifts that we have here in the Calumet Joint Unified School District. I wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and welcome, Regina. So Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Don. Thank you for highlighting our fabulous teachers. Thank you so much, including yourself. Next, for public comment, we have City Council members Bob Miller and John Thorpe. Welcome to the podium. Mayor John Thorpe. I had to leave early for that meeting.
Well, it's good to be in the friendly confines of the school board, and just wanted to introduce our new mayor, John Thorpe, and he may say a few words.
Good evening, board and superintendent James and staff. Thank you for this evening to speak briefly. I've enjoyed the close working relationship we've had the past couple of years and hope that it will continue years to come in spite of us stealing somebody from you. We're really excited about him being on city council. I'm really looking forward to him being a part of decisions that are made for the city. And as I sat listening to that choir this evening, Kelly, you said that you were phenomenal. They were very phenomenal. And so I haven't talked to Chris about this yet because it's just brainstorming back there with Mom. And I would like to see that we highlight some of the different things from our school and our students. Maybe once a month throughout the course of this next year, and the choir would be something I think the city council would enjoy having there as well. So thank you for what you do. Thank you for your time of service here, and look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, okay, get your tissue out, Kelly. So I just want to take a little time, number one, to congratulate Regina on your new appointment and your new election. Was fortunate enough to get to meet Regina as we went to a conference, the California School Board Association conference, and got to meet her and her husband, Richard. And they are wonderful people, and you are going to do a great job. No doubt you hit the ground running, great questions. You did great at conference, and you just have a nice way about you. I know you're going to do wonderful for our students, faculty, and staff, no doubt about it.
Thank you.
And I want to thank my teammates, Debbie, for your kind heart, your friendliness, and the way you welcome me on board, and you just have a wonderful heart, and you definitely have a heart for the school district and the students. So thank you. Sharon's not here. I hate to not see her tonight, but she's just been a stalwart. We had many discussions about too much law enforcement, Bob, not enough law enforcement, Bob, back off a little, Bob. But at the end, we always collaborated to agree on what's the best for our students and our staff. And she was just great to talk to, and I look forward to working with her in the future. And Kathy, one of the smartest people I've ever met. You go toe to toe with Kathy Boag on any subject, and she'll keep right up and maybe pass you up. So Kathy, your intellect alone is amazing, and some of the discussions we had, and we can't talk about closed session, but just beautiful conversations that you really know what's going on, and I'm just proud to work with you. And thanks to Jamie and Jim. And I know, Jim, your job's tough sometimes being HR. They don't always bring you flowers, but your job's very important to keeping the district whole and doing the right thing. And risk management's a tough job, but it's the right job and with the right person in charge. So keep it up. And Jamie, I'm where she's at. She does a great job.
She's in Alaska.
Oh, Alaska. Okay. So if you're listening, Jamie, thank you for great job and the team building you're doing. And Eric left us, but he did a great job in finance for us. And to our principals, teachers, and staff, I know you guys do a wonderful job. Just the 2 years that I got to visit the campuses was wonderful, especially in the beginning. Even though I tried to wander off a little bit, and Callie would tell me just walk in line with everybody else, but I appreciated get to talk to a few people. especially at the football games and things like that, just wonderful. And our student rep, Josh, had a good time down at the conference, got to collaborate with some young people in similar job. You got to go to Disneyland while we were working hard. That was nice. I just want to say from my experience the last couple of years, I came in for working in government. It just was a whole different experience working in education. These folks are wonderful and they really do make a difference. They really do think about our children and so even some of the challenges we had, even in the room sometimes, the focus was always on our students. And to Stella, who had to coordinate all of us, and to Lance for all the PIO work you had to do, thank you, especially for the phone calls and answering me right away in the text. I really appreciate it. I just want an opportunity to come say thank you. Because after December 9th, everything happened really quick. And I didn't have a chance to say anything to anybody. And we are forging a new path, a new collaboration with the city where we're going to work together for our community. The mayor meant what he said. We're going to do things together for the betterment of our town. And now I want to talk about our superintendent, Callie Biggs. I worked with a lot of leaders in my 30-year career in public service. Many. Some have been some stinkers and some have been some really good people. But I've never worked with a more authentic leader than Callie Biggs. As superintendent of schools, I would put her up as against anybody in her leadership skills of being able to work with people authentically as a servant leader of what we teach as a model of how you lead people. I know she answers the phone at 5:30 in the morning and 10:30 to 11 at night. I've experienced it because I called her at 5:30 in the morning or 10:30 at night. Thoughtful, caring, dedicated, and does make a difference with our community and our students. And I know that's always her focus, is make a difference. That's why everybody knows what that means. They know what the mission is. And good leaders permeate that throughout the organization. And I'll close with, when I first began the tours on the campuses, I was amazed that the leader of our organization, everybody was running up hugging her. And I wasn't used to that from law enforcement. They didn't usually come up and hug us. It was, the firefighters, but the police didn't come in. I just could not believe how people embraced Callie, even through tough times, negotiations and all that stuff. They still embraced Callie. And I just think Callie's guest spoke at some of my management classes I teach. And when she gets off the Zoom, I usually say, that's an authentic leader. And that's everything we've been teaching. That's what you want to do. So I want to thank you, Callie, for being a great leader and leading me. You taught me a lot in the last couple of years, and I hope we can pay that forward to you one day. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you both very much for coming in and giving us those kind words. We look forward to working with you in the future. At this time, our first order of business is the certification of the November 2024 election results. Superintendent Biggs will ceremonially administer the oath of office with our newest board member, Regina Cruz. For the record, to have a quorum for this meeting, board member Miller, Cruz, and myself were sworn in prior to the CECA meeting at 5 o'clock in closed session. Just for your information.
You take them over here if you want to video. So they can see.
Okay. I wanted to see that, so I won't forget.
I got it. Right.
Okay.
Gonna ask you to raise your right hand. This is the oath of office for the state of California in the San Bernardino County. I'm gonna ask you to repeat after me. The first thing I'll say is I, and then you're gonna state your name. I,
Regina Marie Cruz,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the state of California
and the Constitution of the state of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will
and that I will
well and faithfully
well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations. When she signs, go home. Have our board members to come forward. Josh, if you come forward, and we're gonna allow the family to take some pictures. So if you'll come up here. And you can come up and take a look at that.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, my bookmarks.
Oh, thank you.
I can take phones if you guys want me to take away the phones. See if you got it.
Okay. Then we're gonna join them. You come up. I'm gonna have everybody join one. I'll be on.
Don't be shy.
Voice. Yes. I'm gonna turn it in now.
Okay, moving on to item number 7. This is our annual organizational meeting. And we will start with item number 7.01, which we will now take nominations for the position of board president.
I motion to nominate Kathy Bo
All
for
right,
president.
I have a motion on the floor to nominate Kathy Booth for president. Do I have a second?
I second that.
Any discussion? Are there, I have, all in favor?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Motion passes with the unanimous vote. Right. Moving on to 7.02, we have the election of officers for clerk. Do I have a motion on the floor for a nomination for the position of clerk? I would like to nominate Debbie Miller. Do I have a second?
I will second that.
Board member Bo, with the nomination, I motion, and the first and the second by board member Cruz. Do we have any questions or comments regarding this item? Seeing no questions or comments, all in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, and motion passes with a unanimous vote. All right. Now we're going to move on to the nominations for position of the community, county community and school district organization. Item number 7.03. This would be for, I currently actually hold this position and I'm happy to continue doing that. So if anybody else would like to do that, otherwise, do I have a nomination?
I'm going to
Keep you there. Okay, so I have a second.
I second that.
Okay, with the nomination from board member Miller and a second from board member Cruz, I have a. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
All right, motion passes with a unanimous vote. Moving on to the Economic Development Advisory Committee. I actually hold this one as well, and I'm happy to continue serving in this capacity. So do I have
I motion that you keep it.
do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, can I have a supportive second by,
I second that.
thank you for our student board member. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes with a 4-0 vote. The support. Moving on to item number 7.04, right? Or we just use that one. So 7.05. This is the position for the Colton Redlands Ukaipa occupational program, also known as CRIROP. I believe right now we have board member Miller is currently in a position that has 1 year remaining on that term. At this time, how do you feel about possibly taking the 2-year term? Because we do have 2 spots. There is a 2-year term and there's a 1-year term. How would you feel about?
I would like the 2-year term.
Okay.
That would work.
In order to do that, I believe.
I'll resign the 1 year.
Okay, do I have a motion on the floor to nominate Debbie Miller for the 2-year term for the private representative position?
I motion.
And the chair seconds, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None, seeing none, the motion passes with a 3-0 vote. All right, we are moving on to 7.06, I believe. That is the that is actually the alternate, correct? My only alternate. So what happens with this one is whenever there are in any of the, so there's 2 board members from this board that could hold this position. Seeing that we still need to look for a new board member, would you be interested in holding the position for either the 1 term or as an alternate for the CRIROP board?
Absolutely.
Okay, so would you like to go with the 1-year term or the alternate? Okay, so at this time,
Sure.
at this time, I'd like to take nominations for the 1-year term for the CRIROP representatives.
I'm going to keep that.
Okay, and the chair seconds, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None, motion passes with a unanimous vote. Okay, and then we are moving on to item number yes, so because we are looking for a new board member, and we will be doing that in the next process as we move along. We would like to hold that position possibly for the new board member if they so choose to take that. So we are going to table that at this time and not have a vote on that position. Moving on to 7.07, approval of the 2025 regular board meeting dates. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Have a second?
I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Or chair votes aye, passes unanimously. And now we move on to Josh, our student board member. He has a report for us.
Can everyone hear me all right? I'm sorry if my voice is a little rough, it's cold season, but so I'm a student board member. My name is Joshua Breyer. This is my report. Next slide, please. So for an update on Ukaipa High School, recently our business students went and gave a 10-minute presentation at the regional business plan and the competition to see how they did, and they should you're back on that anytime soon. Our Avid group.
Sorry, just a little commercial interruption.
Our Avid group recently went on their senior field trip where they visited 9 colleges, I believe, which is an incredible experience for them. We also have a new vehicle extrication device for our EMS lab, which the students have really had fun using and practicing with. Next slide, please. There we go. So Thunderstruck, which is our campus newscast, is currently on their 10th year of productions, which is really amazing. And they have produced 319 episodes. Also, a shout out our counseling group. They have had 1,700 meetings with students this year, just in the first semester. They have also given the science of suicide presentation to all of the 10th grade students, which is incredible. They're also helping a lot of students with FAFSA and getting that in. They also help support college field trips to CECUSD, UC Irvine, Bar, and more. So, please. So recently, we made it to the semifinals of CIF for our football team, which is really awesome and a big achievement for our athletics. And here's some pictures. Next slide. So like we talked about earlier, all of the board members went to the CSBA AEC conference. So this was, for me specifically, this was a conference where I got to meet a bunch of student board members across California. Like I met people that lived 11 hours away from here. And we had a conference for about a day where we learned new things, learned how to be a student board member, learn new things to implement, which I will definitely be undertaking. I met a ton of incredible people on this. I was telling a couple of board members, I had such a good time. Met amazing people. I got my main job. Their goal was to do networking and meet as many people as possible. I'm proud to say that I got over 100 people's contact. And as you can see in some of these pictures, there was a lot of us. The picture on the bottom right is only about 3/4 of the room, so there was easily over 200 of us, which is pretty amazing. That's it. I would also like to invite Mrs. Simon up here to present Christmas sites.
So, being that it was Ukaipa High night, we were asked by YCA to show what we do at the high school, and we're huge at the high school. So we made you guys a holiday gift. All of our staff, not all who could be here because it is finals, we tripled our over. Our members wrote things about themselves, about each other, and such. It's double-sided. Just all the different things that make our school shine. So we wanted to give that to you. And Josh offered to talk from our student perspective, which we feel actually that's what matters to us most. We don't want to talk about ourselves, but
So I have a little paper that I'm going to say here. So I'm a proud senior at Ukaipa High School. Today I'm before you, not just as a student, but as a representative of the incredible community that thrives within our school. I want to take a moment to share how our teachers and staff shine for us every single day in ways both big and small. From the moment students walk through the doors of YHS, we are greeted by the warmth and enthusiasm of our educators. They go above and beyond to create an environment where learning is not just a task, but a journey filled with excitement and discovery. Whether it's staying after school to offer extra help or finding innovative ways to engage us in the classroom, our teachers truly embody the spirit of dedication and passion. One shining example is our teacher, Mrs. Simon. She has a unique ability to truly make students comfortable on campus and motivate students to graduate. Another shining example is our teacher, Mrs. Leon. She has an exceptional way of showing her dedication to her students and preparing them for college. Furthermore, our staff members, from counselors to custodians, play an equally vital role in our success. They create a supportive atmosphere that encourages us to thrive. Our counselors are always available to our students, providing guidance and encouragement as we navigate the complexities of our senior year and prepare for our futures. They listen to our concerns and celebrate our achievements, making us feel valued and understood. In addition, I want to highlight the efforts of our support staff who work tirelessly behind the scenes. They ensure that our school is safe and welcoming. Their dedication often goes unnoticed, yet it is essential to our daily experience. They shine in their commitment to make Ukaipa High a second home for all of us. As we approach this winter break and holiday season, I am presenting the gift of shining lights to you. These lights highlight some of the amazing work our teachers and staff bring to Ukaipa High. The faculty want to be able to further share with you in more detail how much they shine for us, their students, but also for you and what you represent as our YCJUSD school board members. These people are the heart and soul of our school, and their unwavering support makes a profound impact on our lives. We students are truly thankful for their time and commitment to our education.
But we know, and thank you guys for your time reading that one, but so.
Two-sided.
It is two-sided, well, it's like shine all around. So we.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Make sure you guys are elementary teachers.
All right, thank you for that. Student board member Josh, that was, that was a beautiful writer, so thank you to our teachers at YHS. All right, we are now moving on to our section 10 discussion action session and item 10. Oh, I did, I missed you, Debbie, I'm sorry. All right, we'll go back to board committee report.
I'm happy to be on the board of PRIROP again, and I think you will love it. Just so you know, it is once a month. Another board meeting, but it's usually just an hour, so it's good. It's in Redlands, you can run over to Target or something after. It's a great program. I know. Great program, and just, I took a few notes. I wanted to just tell you a little bit about what it is. PRIROP on the mission statement, it says that it prepares students for high demand careers by providing career tech education programs. The programs at our 3 high schools include virtual enterprise, medical assistant, career planning and management, EMS, emergency medical response, construction technology, auto tech, and criminal investigation. I should also mention at the middle schools also, it is part of it. I love this program because not everybody is a college kid, and these programs, you know, I always hear people say, I don't think they have auto shop anymore and stuff. Well, we do, and boy, do we ever. It is, you have to go on a tour once. They actually have council road shows, we'll have to go on a tour. It's amazing. The programs are just the different programs we have. It's just such a great program for those kids that might want to just look into something else. Besides just going to college, so it's a great. Some of them go to college too. So like that. I also want. So, anyways, it's just an amazing program. You'll just be wowed by it. They did at the school board, the conference we just went to. The PRIROP got the Golden Bell Award for their Council Road Show, and the Council Road Show is really cool because they go to all the schools and then they have all the counselors at the schools and visitors that they'd like to go through. They go through the programs and so that way the counselors understand what these programs are about, and so they can suggest that to students that might maybe want to go that direction instead of another. So anyway, so they won the Golden Bell Award, so we're really proud of them for that. And I think that's it. So welcome. Thanks to the board.
I look forward to it.
Now you're on 2 boards. And you didn't even know it.
All right, thank you, Board Member Miller. Moving on to item number 10.01. This item is for the board to consider filling the vacancy of member Bob Miller, who has been appointed to the Yucaipa City Council. There are 2 options here. One, a special election, and the other is an appointment process. The superintendent shared that the specific cost of the election won't be provided from the registrar of voters for several weeks, but the superintendent would estimate the cost to be similar to the city of Yucaipa's estimate. The appointment of a board member is at no cost to the district. What I need here is a motion to approve an appointment for a board member at no cost to the district.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All right, motion by Board Member Miller, second by Board Member Cruz. Are there any questions or comments regarding this?
Yes, can we go over what the process is, please? If we were, yes.
So if there's a provisional appointment, then what the board would do is direct me and my team to set out dates, propose dates for the timeline.
We know that if we were to go till our February meeting, we would be about 4 days short, so we'd have to hold a special meeting, so we would work with the board on that. Then with that, we would work on the advertisement for that. So since we're in trustee areas, there's a couple different ways that we could do it. Of course, we would put something in the newspaper, we would put things out on our website. We would speak at different events throughout our community to let people know that the opportunity is there. We would have an application process, and fortunately for us, California School Boards Association has a really well put together packet that we would use. And so we would take advantage of that system that's already been vetted through their attorneys. And so we would go through that process, and then the board would have a meeting in open session where applicants that have been screened and qualified, if there was an ad hoc committee, that would be done through that ad hoc committee, and just making sure that everyone's met the qualifications, and then the entire board would participate in the interview process. So if we were to do the election, here's the funny thing, and I was able to speak to the city today, and Mr. Bradley did his homework. We can't even get the cost of the election for 4 to 6 weeks, which then puts us, kind of in a pickle for advertising if we know the cost is going to be too much. The city clerk said at the city council meeting where former board member Miller was appointed to the council that they estimated about $100,000. Because we're in different trustee areas, I'm not sure that that would be the same cost, but it would be in that range. I know they have about 5,000 to 6,000 people in their voting populace for them, so it would probably somewhere upwards of that same cost. So that would be what it would take to do an election. Any answered questions that I've left for you?
And there is a timeline, so that's why this 4 to 6 weeks.
Yes,
now.
it really would be, it would really push us to wait on the registrar of voters. I don't understand why they are unable to produce something sooner than that, and they actually do it sooner for board members for school districts than they do for cities. And so it's kind of an interesting process, but that's something we can talk to the county CEO about, who oversees that. But the timeline is a 60-day process, and so that's why we would have to back up our February meeting would work. We would have to do something in probably mid-February. And now that we're in the holiday season, people may not be paying as close attention to what's going on in the community, but more what's going on underneath their Christmas tree. And with kids on vacation and all those things that are going on, I think that if we waited until after the holidays to begin advertising, it might be beneficial to the board. So that's a suggestion that I would have.
With a first and a second on the floor, can I get all in favor? Aye. Chair votes aye. Anyone opposed? Hearing none, motion passes with the unanimous vote. Item number 10.02. Per our board bylaws, the board may elect an ad hoc committee that would review the appointment process and application to ensure everyone meets the qualification. Is there a motion for approval to appoint an ad hoc committee that would review and appoint the appointment process for applications? Second?
I second that.
I have a motion by board member Miller and a second by board member Cruz. Are any questions or comments regarding this?
So President Coe, we could do two things. The board could consider electing them within this item, or it would be an item we bring back on the next agenda.
I think since we don't have board member Pastor present, I think that would be a good thing.
Okay, thank you.
So we are going to move that to the next meeting. And we are going on to item number 10.03. The board will hear the first interim financial report from fiscal coordinator Amber Tice.
Good evening, members of the board, superintendent and Mr. Cole.
Um,
I was just there.
Can you hear me now? Yeah. Perfect, okay. I'll put that over. Good evening, members of the board, Superintendent Binks and Mr. Soul. There's not a lot of people here tonight, but I'm here to present the 2024-2025 first interim financial report for YCJUSD. I don't know. This is a visual representation of the 24-25 budget cycle. It starts mid-June where our board, the YCJUSD board, adopts our budget in mid-June. Shortly after, the state of California adopts their budget at the end of June. Seems a little weird, but that's how it works. Right after that, we start doing our adjustments. The business services department makes adjustments to the budget throughout the year. And then we present first interim financial report in December. So we're here right now. We're about a third of the way through the budget cycle, as you can see. After this, we'll make some more adjustments as more information becomes available. And then someone from business services will present the second financial report to the board in March. And then at that time, we'll make more budget adjustments, and then the unaudited actuals will be presented to the board in September. So the first interim report includes financial activity from July 1st, 2024 through October 31st, 2024. The certification is based on 3 years. So it's our current year, 24-25, and then our next future years, 25-26 and 26-27. At this time, we are at a positive certification, which is great news. It means that we can meet our financial obligations for the current and 2 subsequent fiscal years. Which is great because our only 2 other options are qualified, which means that we may not meet our financial obligations for the current or 2 subsequent years. And then negative, which we really don't want to be at all, which means we would be unable to meet our financial obligations for the remainder of the current year. Okay. So any budget has budget assumptions. We don't have a crystal ball, so we don't know exactly what's going to happen in the future, but we have a lot of good information that we use to create these reports. So the first one is the cost of living adjustment, or otherwise known as the COLA. This year, 24-25 is an actual number. It's 1.07%. That's not changing. 25-26 is projected to be around 2%. And then 26-27 is projected to be at 3.08%. These numbers are always variable, and I can probably guarantee it's going to be different than what these are here now, but this is the best information we have at this time. So these are the numbers that we were using. This slide just kind of solidifies our multiple year projection form, or MYP. So this information is taken from that form. So I have our revenues and expenditures for each year, 24, 25, 25, 26, and 26, 27. As you can see, the expenditures are higher than our revenue, which means that we are deficit spending every year. I have a slide later on to kind of explain what we're doing to kind of combat that. And then we also have our fund balance. So we have our beginning and ending fund balances for each year as well. And then also the components of the ending fund balance. So we have a legal requirement to retain 3% of our total expenditures for economic uncertainty. And as you can see, we meet that requirement every year, which is great. And that's also why we, that's what gives us our positive certification. This is I'm a very visual person, and I just wanted to give the board a visual breakdown of what our 24-25 unrestricted expenditures look like. So as you can see, they're broken down, certificated salaries, classified salaries, payroll benefits, books and supplies, services, and other operating expenditures. we do spend the majority of our unrestricted fund on payroll. It's about 84%. It's around $76 million in payroll expenses. We love our people, and so we pay them out of the unrestricted account. So also going with the visual representation, this is a chart that shows where our enrollment and our funded ADA, that our actual ADA, so ADA is average daily attendance. So this just kind of shows where we were last year, where we are current year, and then where we're projecting to be in the next 2 years. So as you can see, we've always historically been in a declining enrollment district, but it does seem to be kind of leveling out, which is a really good thing. We've determined this because there's a lot more building in the cities, and so we're hoping that's going to bring students to our district. So so the first line is enrollment, and then I have them broken down on the side too, so you can see the actual numbers. The funded ADA, so the state funds us on our average daily attendance, so instead of enrollment. But there's 3 options. They can either, whatever's the highest, it's either prior year ADA, current year ADA, or a 3-year average ADA. So right now, the most ADA that we get is for the 3-year average. So that's what we're funded on. So that second line is our funded ADA. And then the bottom line is what our actual ADA is every year and projected in the future. So that line's getting a lot closer every year. Our 3-year and average is starting to get really close to what our actual ADA is. But you know, we're sitting between 92 to 93% ADA, which is still a little bit lower than what our pre-COVID was at 95%. So we're hoping to bring that up in the future. And one of the ways that we are trying to bring it up is there was a new law passed this year, 24-25. It was SB 153. And so there was new independent study rules that took effect this year. Just kind of a couple of things about it. It's eliminating the requirement for students to participate for a minimum of 3 consecutive school days before earning ADA. So before it was 3 days, and now there's no minimum. So that's nice. They also authorize schools to collect signed written agreements for short-term independent study at any time during the year. Before it was within 10 days, and if you didn't have it signed, you couldn't recoup ADA. So it gives a lot more wiggle room for that as well. Did you want to explain what our plan is?
Yes, absolutely. So we're working on implementing the governor's goal of giving us money for every day that's lost in attendance. And so there's a pilot going on at the high school, and I want to thank the team that's doing it. But I'm going to have Mr. Souls tell you a little bit about how they're working through collecting ADA. And you have a question, or you want to speak to it as well?
Just comment on that. I actually had to go on independent study earlier this year, and it was a great experience. So we're already doing a good job at it. It's very smooth. So
That's great.
Well, that's exactly the goal. So as with any state program, there's paperwork, there's bureaucracy, and there's rules that we have to follow explicitly in order to maximize the amount of funds that can be recovered. So just what we're doing now at the high school is piloting a program where a teacher gets paid a little bit extra to basically walk through the process with students who are on independent study, making sure master agreements are signed by the parents, making sure that the students' teachers are aware of who is on independent study, making sure that the students' work is graded in the right place so that when we get audited by the state, they can see it. If that whole process works as designed, we can maximize the amount of funds recovered from independent study. And it's not just about the funds. I hope everybody realizes it's about students doing the work they do from the education benefit anyway. If a student is out for an injury or a great trip or whatever, we want to be sure they're not taking an impact on their education. So I appreciate the teacher at Yucaipa High School. Her name is Nancy Rodriguez, And the office staff will coordinate all of this. If it goes as planned, we'll be able to expand that to more students at the high school.
I would also add, and Mr. Kirkland's in the audience, so we have our student information system, which is Aries. And so, Shad has always been an Aries guru, and so we put him to task this time, and he really built a back-end system in Aries. So that all of this information for the auditors, when they need to see your work, Mr. Breyer, that you did, that we said you did, and we want to be paid for, that it all lives in one house. So it makes it easier for not only the students, but it makes it easier for our teachers and how then they'll work to get those things uploaded into Google Classroom or however they choose to do it. We actually had a really great meeting with YCEA, or New Mexico County Educators Association, exec board, just kind of working through what that could look like. And it's going to be different at each level. But if we can tackle the high school, then that means we can tackle the middle school. And once we can do the high school and middle school, then we'll be able to work through the different things for elementary. So Shad, thank you to the team that you're working with. Did we miss anyone that's on the team to thank?
On our end,
Ashley, yes.
Ashley.
So Ashley's in the business department. And she works on attendance, so she knows the numbers every single day.
Is what you're doing at, the high school, what is the timeline for implementing it in the other schools?
Great question, Member Miller. So right now, the high school is taking their baby steps. The auditors we're consulting with them to make sure we do it right. We don't want to build a system that they say no to. So late January, early February, the Shad's team and the high school team are going to connect with the auditors to make sure we think we've done it right. And then if that goes according to plan, we can expand it at the high school. I don't think it will probably hit the middle schools until next school year. But the high school is our biggest campus with the most potential for recovered ADA and most potential for recovered schoolwork. So we could be in a really good spot this spring if it goes according to plan.
So just some future budget considerations. COLA is always variable until the May revise, and even sometimes not until the actual budget. So those numbers will probably change. Enrollment also variable and fluctuates. However, we currently have a consultant, MGT, formerly known as Davis Demographics, they changed their name, that the board previously approved to do a forecast of enrollment based on residential construction happening around both of our cities. And they should have our results by, they said March or April. And so then at that point, we can get a better picture of what our enrollment should be in the future years. So that'll be really helpful and super exciting. Our average daily attendance, hopefully, you know, you just heard about our independent study implementation. It sounds like it's going really well. And if so, that should increase our ADA percentage just by getting, you know, those kids back in there. I kind of spoke about deficit spending earlier. This means that we're spending more than what we're bringing in, so not always a good thing, but we still have our ending fund balance to cover it, so that's why we're still positive. And we're still really early in the budget cycle, so as the budget cycle progresses, the changes can be implemented to bring the deficit spending down. And that is something we're plan. So then our next steps from here. So in January, the governor will release the tentative 25-26 budget. And then, that's crazy, 25-26. And then in March, like I said earlier, the second interim financial report will be presented to the board. So at that time, we'll have a little bit more information and a little bit more of what happened already this year. And then May of 2025, the May revise of the 25-26 budget will be released. And then at that point, we'll have a lot more information. So at this time, Business Services recommend that the board approves the first interim financial report with a positive certification. And then if you guys have any questions for me, I'll be happy to answer.
Good. All right, so at this time, can I get a motion to approve the first interim financial report? As stated here by Ms. Tavis presentation.
So moved.
I gotta get a second.
I second that.
So, all in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Chair votes aye. Any passes, oh my gosh. Motion passes with a unanimous vote. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Actually, I want to say a quick thank you
Yes, ma'am.
to Superintendent Binks. She's been amazing since Eric left. And I know that I speak for all the business services managers and that we really appreciate you taking over and loving us. So we appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Item 10.04, we are going to conduct a public hearing to adopt a 5-year development fee report for the 2023-2024 fiscal year. Is there a motion on the floor to approve? Oh, okay, I gotta open the meeting at 7:35. Do I have any public comment for this meeting? All right, seeing none, I adjourn the meeting at 7:36. All right. All right, so I need a motion on the floor to approve or adopt the 5-year development fee report for the 2023-24 fiscal year. I need a second.
I second that.
All right, with the motion, motion from board member Limmer and a second by board member Cruz, all in favor?
Aye.
The chair votes aye, motion passes unanimously. And we are, like stated at the beginning of the meeting, we are pulling items 10.5 and 10.6, so moving on to 10.07. This is the purchase of additional two-way radios district-wide. Do I have a motion on the floor for approval?
So moved.
For this?
Presentation.
Okay, and a second on the floor? Can I get a second?
I second that.
All right, Mr. Brown.
Good evening, President Bogue, Clerk Miller, and newly sworn in member Regina Cruz. It's a totally different board we've got tonight. So Superintendent Binks asked that I come and do a brief safety update along with the radios, and I'll start off with the radios. I'll try to keep it quick, and if you have any questions at the end, I'm more than willing to answer whatever you got. If I can't, then I'll get back to you tomorrow. So we've gone through this entire basically radio revamp over the last year or so. And when we lost internet a few months ago, which was pretty hard to deal with, we decided that we were going to rely heavily on radios should something like that or another emergency happen. And it gave us an opportunity to kind of recalibrate where we were originally with our first couple of orders. And what we understand now is certain classrooms, some of the more high needs classrooms, like our special education success classes, they need some of the longer range radios for some of the students that might, not stay in one place for a very long period of time. So that's kind of what this purchase covers, along with a couple additional radios for aides. And then as well as our STARS program to the city of Yucaipa, and that's going to be coming out of our ELOP funds that support the after school and before school programs. And another kind of exciting thing about this radio purchase is we're actually going to give 5 radios to Cal Mesa Fire, who will then be able to communicate directly with us at the district, and they'll be able to communicate with Mesa View. So when Mesa View experienced the Sandalwood fire a few years ago, all the phones and internet were out, and the fire department doesn't have everybody's cell phone number that works at Mesa View, right? And so they had no way of communicating with the administration, the teachers, or anybody that was on campus at Mesa View. And this is essentially going to solve that problem. So each of their vehicles are going to get equipped with one of the brand new UHF radios, and that's really going to close that communications gap. And the fact that we've gone district-wide UHF and we have repeaters placed at Yucaipa High School and here with the city of Cal Mesa Fire and Cal Fire's agreement between Riverside and San Bernardino County. When Cal Mesa Fire is working over here in Yucaipa, they're still going to be able to communicate with Mesa View. They'll be able to communicate with each other if they're in 2 different counties. And so we're really adding them to our radio infrastructure, and it's going to add a whole other layer of safety to our schools and for our students and employees. The other thing was I wanted to talk about our CSBA presentation. I don't think the California School Boards Association has ever been talked about so much in one board meeting. But We were invited to present on school safety and student wellness, back on December 5th. And it was Superintendent Binks and former member Bob Miller, now councilman. And then we also had some really great support from the Ukiah Police Department. Captain Mike Walker came and helped us present. And then from the Calamasa side, from Calamasa Fire, we had Fire Captain Matthew Vega. And so, and then myself and all five of us were up on stage just sharing with a packed. So at the conference, they have different workshops all throughout the 3 days that you're there. And the rooms aren't super big, and there were about 4,000 people there. Our room was standing room only. All the chairs were packed. And our own board members and incoming member Regina Cruz were all there to attend. And it went really well. We had a lot of other school board members stick around afterwards and ask questions and ask for our info and ask how we kind of implemented it. But really our big thing was to share all the things that we're doing. It was to share the partnerships that we have with both cities. So our partnerships with the city of Ukiah and the city of Calamasa are what make us very unique in the school safety sphere. You know, we kind of might take it for advantage, you know, take it for granted. But if you take a bigger scope of the state of California, not a lot of cities and other governmental entities don't have the relationships like we do. And then I also wanted to just plug, so our entire school district has implemented the incident command structure, ICS, which is supported through FEMA and SEMS, which is like the statewide emergency management system, as well as NIMS, the national incident management system. I had the opportunity to attend a training with San Bernardino County on what's known as ICS 402, and that was a training specifically on emergency management for elected officials. So that would be you sitting on the dais tonight. And County Board of Supervisor Kurt Hageman was there, and he's a big proponent of making this happen frequently. And there's going to be 2 more training dates, and it really would be, you know, you all are invited, and I know Stella will put it in the Friday letter and say invite when there's going to be 2 different rounds of the training this next calendar year. And it would really kind of give you a better look at what we do whenever we do our drills, or if a real crisis happens, how we activate our emergency operations center, how we, you know, implement the CERT model, and we have our morgue and our med teams, and how we have, you know, our incident commanders at each site and kind of how they work through their process. It's a really good top-down view of how we decide to manage emergencies. And we have a lot more things on the horizon. We're now meeting with our district safety committee every 2 months instead of quarterly. And we've had a lot of really good things come out of that, including the radio calibration, where we're going to kind of decide what our new policies and standards are across the district. So that was a lot more than just radios. I'm sorry about that. But if you have any questions, I'm more than willing to.
I do, actually, it's not really a question, it's more of a statement. I want to commend you on your hard work in the collaboration, the continued collaboration with our partners in the city. I don't think that anyone else has our school radios in their firefighters, in the Cal Fire system. There's just no way. And great job putting together the safety committee of it up there when we were over there in Anaheim. So well done.
Thanks. Total team effort.
Yep. Well done. Anybody else?
I'm wondering if it's implemented in all schools yet, or they're still working on it, not all of the campuses.
Are you referring to the radios?
Yes.
Every single school. Every school has radios, and all we're doing with this extra order is filling some of the gaps on the larger campuses. Our middle schools and high schools, they're huge compared to elementary schools, and so we need some higher power radios so that if someone's on one end of the campus, they can talk to the admins on the other end of the campus. So.
The presentation was awesome. It was amazing. It was very impressive. And I think that a lot of the school board members that attended, and superintendents and district officials, they were impressed. And I think you even had a couple fans that wanted photos with you guys.
They did.
We did get some selfie action afterwards.
It
was not expected whatsoever.
No, it was great because it showed what a great community Ukiah Calamasa is. That we work with our city and all the support we have from the community. I just loved it. It was a really good presentation.
Thanks.
Hardly anybody left.
I would add, Captain Walker was in, both police and fire were in full uniform, and so Captain Walker, when you're in uniform, you carry your firearm, and he barely got into the school boards association, so it was kind of funny. You took an extra 20 minutes. He had to prove that he was on duty and all kinds of things, and so we felt very safe and secure.
Their security was intense.
One of the things that was mentioned during that presentation was how we have implemented our first aid precautions in each individual classroom. Can you elaborate on that a little bit for us?
Yeah, of course. So through the work of our district nurse, Heather O'Beer, she's a registered nurse. She's formulated these trainings that are based on a lot of different professional opinions and really highly reputable healthcare organizations. And we also have a local doctor, Dr. Shaw, who vets a lot of that. And so what we're working on having is implementing a safety corner in every single classroom. And there are going to be these health and safety cards that reflect that training that Dr. O'Beer has been giving. And so if a student or an employee is having a medical crisis in a classroom, even if there's a substitute there, they're able to get to these cards. They're really easy. It's a 3-step process. You know, if it, you know, I don't want to say the word Narcan, but if it's Narcan, if it's an opioid overdose, then it's a really easy 3-step process. And there's pictures. They don't have to read it, and they can just really glance at their wall and be able to hopefully administer it to a student and save their life or an employee. And that it's going to be in the same. So the idea is to have it in the same place, not necessarily the same place in every single classroom, but with the same category of things. So the radio protocols, Narcan overdose protocol, and then also all of our health and safety protocols will be in the same area of a classroom and pretty easy to find.
Once again, I'd just like to say thank you for all your hard work, and especially after we went through all the workshops that we did, and we sat here and we did that, our public meetings and made sure that safety was a priority. So I appreciate your hard work and getting everyone to collaborate. So thank you.
Thanks for supporting our kids.
Yep. So we have with the motion and a second, can I get move for approval on the radios? And then, so all in favor? Aye. And chair votes aye, so motion passes unanimously. All right, we are moving on to, we pulled 10.08, so moving on to 10.09, we have a second review for the revised board policy 4127, temporary athletic team coaches. Does anyone have any questions on this? Can I get a motion for approval? I'll move. A second? I second that. Motion by board member Miller and second by board member Cruz. All in favor? Aye. Chair votes aye. Motion passes with 3-0 vote. Moving on to item number 10.10, human resources, frontline education absence and time master service agreement. Can I get a motion for approval? I move. And a second? Second. Motion by board member Cruz, second by board member Miller. Are there any questions regarding this item? No. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Chair votes aye. That is a unanimous vote for approval. All right, moving on to our consent calendar. Does anyone need to pull any items for discussion? No. Hearing none of that, can I get a motion for approval on the consent calendar? I move. And a second? Second. I have a motion by board member Cruz and a second by board member Miller. Can I, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Chair votes aye and motion passes unanimously. All right, we have an information proposal section in section 12 for 12.01. This is a first review for new board policy 4154, the health and welfare benefits. Do I have any questions or comments regarding this item? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. No. Okay. That is just for information, so we don't need to have a vote on that. And moving on to section 13 with additional administrative information.
Nothing to add other than happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to all of everyone here, everyone out there, everyone at home, and our classrooms. It's been a great happy year. So thank you.
I'd like to share, not only does Dana bring the Christmas spirit into the board, but he also was he's been a part of a podcast, and it was an amazing podcast with the Burlington Company through Adult Ed. And it was the second podcast, right, Dana? But the first time that he has been invited to do that. And I had the opportunity to listen to it, and I was so proud. I thought I could do that. He did such a great job. And so I wanted you to know that I can put the link into the Friday letter so that you can give it a listen as well. It was called Rise to the Challenge. And he talked about intervention strategies that work for his students. And I can tell you that we know that the strategies he's using at Yucaipa Adult School are working, because not only do we have more graduates, but we have people coming to us from other adult schools because of the strategies that he's using to help people be successful. So I had the opportunity to walk the campus on Monday with our Adult Education Consortium Director, Dr. Emma Diaz. And as Dana was giving the tour of what was going on, there were just so many incredible things at that campus. And one of the things that demonstrates how much people love to go there is Dana asked on behalf of his students if they could have a prom. So they're going to have a prom, an adult school prom. No alcohol. But they're going to have it at the Elks Club, and just when you build that kind of camaraderie with adult learners who have a lot on their plates probably, besides being parents possibly and full-time students or holding down jobs, I think it's pretty incredible. So congratulations on that, Dana. And then also I want to thank my board here. We're so proud of you, Josh, with the networking that you did. Just your success is going to far be beyond anything I think that we can imagine. As you finish your finals, keep that in mind. There's light at the end of the tunnel, and you're going to do great things. You've already done great things here, and we're excited to hear about the things that you did. And then I want to thank Board Member Miller and Board Member Bogue for coming back to serve another 4 years. We really appreciate when we have a board that listens to our employees, listens to the community, and can very, very seamlessly meld those things together to do the right thing for Yucaipa and Calimesa. And, in the COVID times, that was difficult, and we had some rough patches even as we were coming out of COVID politically with just the pushes and the pulls, but you've done that seamlessly. Want to thank, of course, Board Member Miller for his very kind comments to all of us. I know it was a hard decision for him to apply for that position, but I'm happy to live in Yucaipa and know that he's serving our city and will do great things along with Mayor Thorpe. And then you may not know it, but Board Member Mike Snellings, former president, I think he was listening just a little bit tonight. He wasn't able to be here. But I think it's fitting that we all can say our thank yous to him, and then they'll be recorded. But President Sellings, I just wanted to share with everyone how much I've appreciated working with you. You have been an early morning sounding board, a late night sounding board, a middle of the day crisis listener, and very, very much involved in the day-to-day work when needed, and also gave us a lot of trust. And so we are going to definitely miss you on the dais, but we thank you for your service. And he came to us from an appointment. So I'm excited that he's, had the opportunity to serve us as he's served Redlands Unified and Colton Unified as an employee. So thank you, Mike, for everything that you have done. And then, of course, welcome, Regina. We so appreciate that you took the time and the interest, and I have your husband out there, but he's willing to support you in this role. And we learned that at the School Boards Association, how much, he's behind you, and that always helps. So thank you for being willing to step up and become a board member. Thank you. Merry Christmas, dear.
Thank you. Now we're going to board member comments. Student Board Member Josh, do you have anything you'd like to add?
I just want to shout out the wonderful performance by the Madrigals earlier. Also, the work on the Cry Rock team. I have a lot of friends that are in that the Cry Rock group, and they love it there. So yeah, just wanted to shout that.
Board Member Cruz.
Fun fact of me, I love football. My team not doing so good, but we'll digress. But I heard, Joshua showed great pictures of the football team that's doing very well, and under the leadership of Coach Price, they won 8 games and made it further past any season ever before. So a great Coach Price, great leadership. Football is hard, and with a good leader, you go far. So with other the tennis player, Ucaipa High School tennis player, Olivia L. Made it to the CIF quarterfinals. So that is amazing. Way to go, Olivia. And we appreciate all of the great academics and sports for these children. So thank you very much. And thank you for your words, Kelly. She is, I hear a lot of great things about her, and within the last couple of weeks or a couple of months since I've started this venture, everybody has been very supportive. So I love this new journey, and thanks, family, for coming out.
I got a few things here. Amber, thank you for that presentation. Well done, and I understood it. Thank you. Thank you to the Madrigals. Oh, they're just amazing. So beautiful. Their voices are so beautiful. It's just amazing. I went to the band and choir performance at the high school on Thursday. And it was what they did today and more. The band and the choir, it was just beautiful. So I highly recommend, if you ever want to have just a beautiful evening out, to go to the high school or to the middle schools. Their performances are amazing, and our programs are just blossoming. They're just fantastic. So that was beautiful. I wanted to thank Bob and John. I know they're not here for coming, but I love the idea. I know they really want to make a partnership with us as a school district and the city. I like that idea, and I love the idea of them having students at the city council meeting. I think that's a great idea. We need to partner more with them, and I know Bob is going to make sure of that. Also, welcome, Regina. I know already, just knowing you just a little bit, we're gonna have fun. And you're gonna be a real good asset. You're very intelligent, and it looks like you're catching on pretty quickly. So welcome. I didn't know we were gonna talk about Mike, but I'm gonna miss him. He was very knowledgeable. He helped me learn a lot. I had a lot of fun with him. We made a lot of faces at each other, and he made it fun to be around, but he also just taught me a lot, and I'm gonna miss him, and I wish he would know that. But he is. Then also, I have a whole bunch of notes here. Just a little bit tidbit. I had asked a little bit tidbit about the high school, because we were showcasing them tonight, or they were. Thank you for this. I'm gonna read it. Yeah, I really read you. I love it. Great idea. That at the high school, there was an increase in students who met or exceeded state testing standards in math. Yay. It was a nearly 7% increase of last school year. So, wow, that's amazing. I want to wish everybody at the high school and all the schools a amazing few weeks off. Enjoy. I'm gonna say something. I don't want to cry, but I'll keep going for you, Mike. I'm gonna cry. I want to tell all the hold on. The staff and students and parents, a great holiday season. I want to wish you guys take a moment, enjoy the moments together. You never know what next year is going to bring. Love each other and just enjoy your times together. It's so important. Anyways, Merry Christmas to everybody.
Thank you, Mary. I too would like to highlight the Madrigals and thank them for coming. It's always a pleasure to see my former students and doing wonderful things. So thank you for getting them here and feel like the next presentation goes. City council.
Yeah.
Dana, beautiful sweater. Wonderful job. Very much appreciated getting people engaged and on the educational paths and making better their lives. So thank you on behalf of them, really. I don't know if you hear from your students often. I hope you do. You're doing an amazing job. As far as Mr. Snelling's, I wanted to say thank you for your guidance. I know you're listening online, and if you're not, I'm going to harass you and send you the link. But you taught me a lot over the last couple of years, 4 years, I guess. Math is hard. But thank you so much. Your extended knowledge of the educational system and how we can solve problems and work together in a positive way is going to be missed, dearly missed, and I will see you on the sidelines. Thank you for that. As far as our, you mentioned the Thunderstruck.
Yes.
That is the coolest thing ever. It is 100% like, it's well, probably 99.9% student run or produced. I highly encourage you to check that out if you have not done so already. I love getting those updates for that. And then I don't know if you know this, but we have the ribbon cutting for the HVAC system over at the high school. We have air conditioning. I don't know if you've been in that place during the hotter seasons. I'm sure most of you in this room have, so I hope you enjoy both the heating and the air. So, as far as that, and take a look at that nice grass area, we're going to be able to utilize that for our students in a positive and comfortable manner. So looking forward to seeing that use. And that, I'd like to adjourn the meeting at 8:01. We are adjourned.
Merry Christmas, holidays.